Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host for the Webtalk Legends Podcast. This is number 44 on the year, and I am so happy that we're able to do these consistently because I found the more value that we bring from our guests to you, those in the audience that are watching, and you actually implementing and taking action for some of the things we're talking about. It's phenomenal. It's great. And continue. And some housekeeping things when you're on and you're listening, take some notes, drop a couple comments. The least you can do is drop a comment where you're watching from. If you like what we're saying, drop a couple of emojis. If you don't like it, hey, let's have some conversation in the comments as well. And don't forget to hit the share button when we're done, or even during. Share it to Web Talk, share it to Facebook, share it to Instagram, LinkedIn, what have you, so we can help even more people from them watching our conversation. Let me bring on my next guest. We have Yolanda Winfield. What's going on, Yolanda? How are
Hi,
you?
hi, Shawn. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I've been nervous and excited all day. I'm
No,
like
that's
8:30 is normally getting ready for bed for me. So,
you're gonna drop that value and then you're gonna get into bed and you're gonna probably stay
uh-huh,
up a little while. You'd be like, this is I'm
right,
fired up from it.
right. I'm gonna get wired up. I'm gonna.
No, this is great. I appreciate it. I know some people are nervous when they're, going on a live or a podcast, what have you. We're going to have fun. We're just talking about you. And a lot of people say, what am I going to talk about? Things that you have done in your past so people can learn from you. Hopefully they can take what you're going to discuss and use it. And that's the
Right.
that's the power with having conversations. Before we even get into it, can you share with us who you are and what you do?
Okay, I am Yolanda Winfield. I am a full-time realtor and also an event planner. I've been a realtor for 5 years and event planning for 37 years. Yep. So I enjoy both. I wanted to do real estate years ago, but life got in the way and having a lot of kids, I got that took family took precedence over everything. So I just waited until I was an empty nester to get started.
No, having kids and being there that's a job in itself, right?
Right, right, exactly. Yeah.
I found those that are in the moment and actually enjoying time with their kids really are getting things going, and they're dropping roots for the long haul, and not
Hmm.
just being fly by night parent, coming home late at night, saying hi, giving a kiss, the kid goes to sleep, and they're just hanging out.
Right.
You, I'm sure, discuss how you are as a parent.
Well, I like to think I'm a the easygoing parent. I wasn't the strict parent or anything. I was the fun parent, always wanting to go and do things. And every weekend we were somewhere, Chuck E. Cheese or wherever. So I just put a lot of time into the kids. Yep, but they're all grown now. So the oldest one is 42 and the youngest is 28. So I have seven kids, nine grandkids, and I'm an only child, of course, go figure. But
Look at that. That is
yep,
incredible.
yep, and
That is
everybody's I'm sorry.
No, that's building a family right there. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you seem
everybody's
like you might have been
always
missing it growing up being the only child, right? And now
right.
you made
Uh-huh.
sure you're gonna have
Right,
that
right.
family.
That they weren't going to be bored or anything. They had each other. But I have two biological sons, three adopted, and two bonus kids. So that I didn't have all seven, because that's what everybody's like. You had seven kids? No, not all. But
No,
they
that's
were all in
beautiful.
the house at one time. So that was a lot of bags of Doritos, and then with the friends coming over, so that was a lot of bags of Doritos growing up.
Hmm. Doritos. Hey, when you were in high school, what were you? Were you a jock? Were you into the books? Were you just, finding your way? What was Yolanda back in high school?
I was, I guess, finding my way. I was real quiet. I actually had we had our 40th year high school reunion this past weekend. I didn't go, I didn't attend because I couldn't get down there. But I had other prior engagement. But I
Hmm.
was looking at the pictures and I'm like, I don't know anybody. I mean, I maybe knew like 10 people in high school because I was so quiet. So, I didn't recognize a lot of people. So, I was like, maybe I didn't miss too much, but yeah.
No, a lot of times high school is just it's not for everybody, like it's something that, people go through. Some people hate it, some people enjoyed, some people just had
Mhm.
to get through it. But it's
Right.
something that you still have life lessons. Did you have any teachers, any mentors that you remember back
Um,
then that you
yeah, I
possibly
have,
have can share with
yeah,
us?
I actually have, he was a math teacher. His name was Mr. Evans. And I guess of course, when he retired, he would go to the mall every day. He would be at I grew up in Maryland, in
Mm,
Baltimore, Maryland. So it was a mall called Towson Mall. And every day you could find Mr. Evans right there. And I would sit down and talk to him and have, life conversations and everything. So I don't know, if he's still around now or what. And I've since moved to Jersey, so I don't
hmm.
know. But yep, I do always remember Mr. Evans. Yep.
No, it's something that mentors are around. We have them in person. We have people that you can learn from books. Are you into reading?
Yes, yes, I am into reading.
How important is that as you were growing up, or even today? What are some of your likes of current books you might have been involved with?
Well, I think I enjoy reading now more so growing up. Of course, you didn't want to read books when you were growing up. You wanted to go play or something. But there is a few books. Well, because of real estate, I do have a book called The Shift. And
Yes.
yeah, because I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, so that's one book that I read. I read that every day. I'm on a morning call that we go over, different pages in that book every day. And in my office, we do have a shift program that we're doing every Friday. So, yep, I read that mostly. And then I have another book that I just started. It's more of like a affirmations, but it's
Okay.
called A Thousand Plus Little Things That Successful People Do. And it has, like I said, different affirmations in there. So normally I'll just pick the book up, flip a page, and whatever I land on, put my finger on there, and whatever I land on, that's what I'll read for the day. Yep.
The affirmations are good.
Hmm.
Affirmations in the Web Talk Legends what YouTube channel. We have some great affirmations that we had Deanna create. Those are something that over time it definitely helps your mindset, right?
Right. Yeah. And reading those in the morning, because I've got my morning routine. Like I said, I'm an empty nester now, so I can finally get into a groove of a morning routine that fits for me and me only. So I do that. I get up, do my meditation, and I'll read my affirmations. I've also just started journaling, and that's been helpful for the mindset too. Just jotting down little things of how I felt about something, or certain things that went on throughout the day. I'll journal. One thing I have to get whether I'm going to journal in the morning or at night. So that's, sometimes I just do it both, or if I think of something during the day, I'll just get my book and jot it down.
Now,
Yep.
do you go back and look at your journal from past entries, or is it just kind of, releasing those items that are in your head at that current moment just to release it, or you go back to reflect?
I have gone back to reflect. Like the same thing with the other book I was saying. Sometimes I'll just go through like a book from last year or 2 years ago. I'll just flip through a page and see, or either I'll go on like today's the 14th. I'll go and see what I said on the 14th in 2020, when it was during COVID or something like that. So, but like I said, I've made sure now that I do it every day. Back then it was sporadic, so sometimes I didn't have anything on the page. So
Right.
yep.
No, that's
Yep.
freaking out. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Now, with the going with the personal development, the reading, the affirmations. I love how you're sharing your morning routine, and you
Mhm.
said you just started getting into the groove of that now. How was your routine before when you had kids? How
It
were you
was
able
all
to get things done?
it was all over the place. I would have to make sure, and back then I was much younger, so I would didn't have to write everything down. I could remember doctor's appointments and who had a play or who had a something going on in school or whatever, a school trip or something. I could remember all of that. So it was just, like all over the place. I didn't have a routine in the morning, and sometimes they wanted breakfast, sometimes they didn't, or, they wanted to go out for breakfast or something, so every morning was always something different.
You always have
Yeah.
to plug when you have kids, it changes the game. When you're only, single, you can do whatever you want. You wake up whatever you want. When you have kids, you got to really strategize what you're going
Hmm.
to get done. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time to make phone calls because I have kids, or I can't go to meetings because I have kids, or I can't work out, or keep themselves healthy." Those are
Hmm.
excuses that people have because now I think if you have kids, you have to do more. You got to be
Right.
that mentor, that example that your kids are looking up to. And
Hmm.
if you're not doing it, they're going to be like, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, what's going on here?" Right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, every day is something different. So sometimes I would say, all right, instead of driving to school, let's walk, on a nice day or something. So I can get my exercise in, by walking them to school. It wasn't that far, but still, I guess a few steps is better than no steps at all. So we
Hmm.
would do it that way, and then, if they were playing basketball or something, I would shoot hoops with them and do different things. Yep.
No, that's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
we're in 2022, going into 2023. How important is social media to you, your life, and for business as well?
Social media for me personally, sometimes it can be draining because you can get on there. I know Instagram, well, no, my new thing is TikTok. I can
Mm,
get on there and be sitting down for a whole hour just looking at TikTok videos, and then I'm going to try to do it. So, and that's hindering me from, I should be making calls or, doing something within for my business. So personally, sometimes it can be a hindrance, but for my business wise, I think it's excellent because I get to send out one thing and it's blast all over, and I also belong to a lot of the Facebook groups. So
hmm.
I'll put one thing in there and, two or 300 people will like it, so that's the good part of it as far as business is concerned. Cause I made a post today, like we were talking about earlier, with the mental health, and with
Yes.
Twitch having, his breakdown and, everything that he went through. And sometimes you don't know. A lot of people are hiding behind a smile, and you don't know. So I made a lot of care calls today, just genuinely saying hello, and then I thought while I was making my calls, I'm like, there may be somebody on Facebook that needs to hear this too. So I put, a Facebook post saying that this time of year, depression and anxiety are on high, and a lot of times people don't want to even talk about it, don't want to discuss it. They'll just, but they're mentally going through something. So I just put a post on there, if anybody needs me, I may not have the answers to everything, but together we can work it out. And I did get quite a few responses. People did send me DMs, and I made sure I responded to them as soon as they sent it to me. I responded to them. I didn't want anybody waiting and like, well, she said we could talk, and then so I made sure I responded to everybody, and we had conversations back and forth. So that turned out to be pretty good. And it
And
also is helpful for me. I love helping people. It makes you feel better when you can help or, talk to somebody. So,
it's not all about the business, it's all about building relationships.
right. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, mental health in the US, I know there's people all over the world watching us. The US, it's a really, nobody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something in the media. And a male has a major difficulty when if they're depressed,
Hmm.
they're taught to be the macho, to not
Right.
talk about their
Mm-hmm.
feelings, to keep everything inside, that everything will be okay. But I agree with you. I'm here as you are, Yolanda. If somebody needs us, we want to be there for you. And just
Mm-hmm.
to have, we're here to listen. We're here to give you some information. We're here to be that person, that helpful person that everyone's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
it's not the way
Exactly.
that we want to be there for everybody. And it's something
Mm-hmm.
that I like seeing posts like that because yeah, it gets engagement. It
Mm-hmm.
allows people to have conversation, and it opens doors. And it's not just posting about real estate or insurance or
Right.
mortgages or anything. It's being real. It's real
Right.
life,
Right.
and that's
Exactly. Just being genuine. Yeah.
genuine, right, and authentic. That's where we need
Mm-hmm.
to be. We don't
Right.
need to be fake. A lot of social media is, fast cars, expensive cars, the boats, the
Mm-hmm.
big houses, and those people are all broke. They're just putting up a
Right.
facade to
Right.
make it. It's all fake.
Yeah.
So it's important to be real with people, to share what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
with social media, you did some video and you said you were a little nervous today. Talk about the nerves that you had being going on video today.
I think the most thing was knowing that it was going to be live. I'm like, there's no, no stop button. We can't stop if I mess up or something or say the wrong thing. But that was just on my mind. And that was a mindset. I had to just tell myself, what are you nervous for? You're like a good friend of mine. We've been chit chatting back and forth on
Mhm.
Facebook,
Yep.
for what, 2 or 3 years, maybe longer.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, what am I nervous for? It's Shawn. That's my
Yes.
buddy.
Yes.
So it
It's
was like after I logged on and put my name and everything what had already popped up, I'm like, oh, this is a piece of cake. I'm talking to my best friend, my homie.
yeah. It's so funny. People get all nervous, and it's just having a conversation. If you were on the phone, if you
Hmm.
were in person, if you some people use their phone and do video calls, and if you're not doing video calls, those that are watching, do video calls with your
Hmm.
possible prospects or people that
Right.
your leads you're working with, because it's more real, more authentic.
Hmm.
But yes, a lot of people have that fear. Oh, what, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way I sound.
Right.
What, you're going to change something when you're going to actually meet the person in person? Because you're going to
Hmm.
nothing's going to
Right.
change. You're going to be you,
You're
right?
gonna be this, yeah.
But the
Exactly.
power with video is you actually can feel what someone's saying. You can feel the passion. You can see what they're doing, the body language that's happening while they're having the conversation, and you're
Hmm.
connecting with others. And the more that you put yourself out there, because there isn't a lot of podcast, there's podcasts out there, but there's not a lot that people go on or want to be a guest on or are
Right.
afraid to be on. But I'm guaranteeing those that go on to it, watch what it does to you, because it opens doors for you. People are going to listen to you. It could be
Right.
live and also on the replay. And that's the
Hmm.
power, is the replay. It doesn't have to be, filled with the hundreds and thousands of people watching live. It's the thousands of people that can watch it on the replay. And
Right.
it's out there forever unless someone deletes it. So
Hmm.
it's definitely a powerful thing. And
Right.
video in the real estate world is king. I and
Yeah.
queen right now. You should
Hmm.
always be using video.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I said I'm definitely going to start doing web talk. I already I have a date set for January 7th, and I'm sticking to that date this time because I know we talked about web talk early in the
Hmm.
summer, and I
Yep.
still, I logged on and did everything, set everything up, but I just haven't, done everything. But I'm going January 7th, I'm going live. You're going to be my first guest.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey, the event planning. You had a lot of experience with event planning. Why did you get into it?
Well, when I got married back in 1985, I really enjoyed planning my own wedding. And that's what started me from there. That's what jolted me. And I was like, you know what? This is what I love. I love doing. So you got to do what you love. That's what they always say, do what you love, and it won't be a job. And
Yes.
it hasn't been. So it's just been fun. I, do all types of events from just baby showers to birthday parties to weddings. And I want to plan me. I'll be 60 in 2 years. And remember I told you
Wow.
I wanted to meet 50 Cent. Well, I want 50 Cent at my party.
That would be awesome.
Right now, remember your wife said she met 50 Cent, so tell her
Yes.
to call him, and I need him at my birthday party.
That is so, yeah, that would be awesome if we had that phone call, to sell on him. That'd be great.
Right.
Um, I know the events are a lot of time, a lot of planning, a lot of
Hmm.
being on. There's time points, I guess, throughout the event. How do you keep things, from not falling apart?
Oh, well, that's for me now, since I've been doing it so long, it's easy. Everything falls in line. I make sure I communicate. That's the best thing. You have
Right.
to communicate with everybody. You can't just say, "Oh, I didn't call the caterer yet," or whatever. You got to communicate with everybody. So I make sure I have that checklist and I follow exactly, what I have on that checklist and just take it from there. Just make sure you communicate, communicate, communicate.
Hey, that's with everything, and that's business,
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
relationships. If you're not
Right.
communicating, it's not going to work, and
Right.
that's
Exactly.
100% great advice right there. Now,
Mhm.
food. I like talking about food. I like talking about what people are enjoying. Are you one that likes to stay in and cook up a meal, or you like to go out to eat? And what is your
Um,
favorite?
I think, you know, we don't go out to eat as much, and then after COVID, it
Right.
still came down to, a screeching halt that we
Yes.
normally would go out at least once a month to eat, but now I just love to stay in and cook. And because I have the big family, we're actually having a holiday gathering on Saturday, this
Excellent.
coming Saturday. So, I'm going to take some food down for that and we play games and, I'm looking forward to that. But I would prefer to cook and stay in as opposed to going out. Yep. I think
I
that
like that. I like
convenience.
that. I agree. I definitely agree. Having people over or going to family or friends and having a nice little group meet
Hmm.
up. Uh, it's a fun time to do that. Is there a
Yes.
favorite food you like to eat?
I'm a really picky eater, so I mainly only eat chicken. But I know how to. My husband always says, "How do you know how to cook this? You don't eat it. You don't like cheese, so how do you know how much cheese to put it? But it comes out good. I follow the recipe to a T, and, and it comes out good. But yeah, I'm a really picky eater, so I mainly like desserts. That's my downfall right there. I love desserts. I actually made a pineapple upside down cake the other day and and needless to say, I shouldn't have been eating it, but I ate more than my portion, more than my share. But it was good. So I love to bake. And we're having something at our office on Friday where everybody has to bring in homemade cookies. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, here we go again. Now I'm gonna make pineapple upside down sugar cookies drizzled with caramel, topped with candied walnuts and almonds. So I
This
do have
is
to taste that.
this is the time of the year that people really go
Uh-huh.
get that baking on, man. Like
Right.
my wife would do like a cookie swap. They would all
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
girls would come over and you'd walk out with like I don't know 4 or 5 dozen cookies, probably
Mhm.
more.
Yep.
It's a great time of the year for the person's health when they're trying to like keep themselves in shape. It's difficult, I guess, down this time of
Right.
the year. But it's hey, everyone has that time. You want to eat that dessert, have some
Mhm.
fun, be active, be around your family and friends. That's an
Right.
important thing. And
Yeah.
I like some of the things that are on your wall back there.
Oh,
Is this your home
this
office?
is
Is
my
this
home office. I'm trying to fix it up. I keep changing things, but I got that make it happen. And then up here, one of the groups that I join, my coaching groups, is called Inspire. So I found that at Dollar Tree, and I was like, "Oh, this fits the theme of everything." So, yep.
No, I
So,
like that because a lot of people have, some things to remind them to keep them on track, to
mhm.
keep them on, maybe they're not going well. Some of the phone calls that you might go on for real estate might not go the
Right.
right way, especially we're in the world we're in now in New Jersey. It's a little difficult, right? It's
Mhm.
different. The
Right.
shift has been happening
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
rates are going up, so it's a little bit more harder for people to purchase if they're a first-time home buyer. But
Mhm.
it's something that I like how you have like a place that you call your office.
Right.
It
Yeah.
makes it home. It makes it a
Yeah.
nice. This is where I'm going to be doing some work.
Right.
Eh,
Exactly.
we have looks like IEG Innovative. The color is Web Talk Blue. Web Talk Blue. That's it. Um,
And I was skeptical about that blue because my husband was like, "We got all this blue paint. Just use the blue." I'm like, "Man, I didn't want blue. My favorite color is gold." He
oh,
said, "Just use blue and trim everything in gold."
there you
So
go. There you
he just
go.
didn't want me to waste that blue paint. So I'm like, "All right, I'll use it." But yeah, Web Talk Blue.
There it is. Talk about the coaching that you're going through. I'd love to
Uh,
hear about that.
well, I actually haven't started
Okay.
yet. I'll start in January. That'll be my first time starting with that. But everybody said that you'll need a coach to get you through, and a lot of coaches were a little expensive and I couldn't afford it, and I was like, all right, well, this one is right in my price range, so I just went on and stuck with that. But I haven't started yet, but I do have a daily calls that I'm on every morning, and that's pretty much coaching. It's like 1,000 plus agents. Keller Williams, well, actually there's other companies on there as well, but the gentleman that started it, he's from Keller Williams, and we it's 1,000 plus agents on there, and every morning somebody shares some type of knowledge, something, some type of wealth that you can take and run with it, and you know just thrive on your business. So things have been picking up for me since I've been on this call, and doing a lot of the things that people say do.
And you said this call is every week? Is it
It's every day.
bi-weekly? Every
It's
day?
every day. Yep, every morning.
You know what that's doing? It's making you consistent,
Right.
and
Mhm.
you're around. When they say if you want to be a millionaire, you got to find, if four other millionaires, you'll be the fifth,
Right.
because you'll learn from their strategies, their mindset, their daily habits, and
Mhm.
that'll come through because you're around in that environment. So that's a
Right.
great thing to go on to every day, so that you're picking up some kind of cues, you're being consistent, and you're always in that growth mode.
Mhm. Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, my morning is set from I have my first call actually starts at 6:30 in the morning. So it's called Early Birds Talking Real Estate. So I'm on that at 6:30. Some mornings I don't talk, you don't have to talk, you can just listen. And sometimes the smartest person in the room is the quietest person in the room because you're inhaling all that knowledge. So, sometimes I don't, speak up or anything, but I'm there to, absorb everything that's going on. Yep.
Now, it's important to put yourself in those positions because, and you're actually implementing. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't implement. They go to
Right.
workshops, they go to webinars, and they don't take action. You're an
Mm-hmm.
action taker, and I've seen it for years now. And you're doing different things. You're a mom, you're a grandma, and you are
Mm-hmm.
still plugging away. You're still creating your personal brand. What other things are you doing for your brand, your personal brand?
Personal brand, that I'm still working on things with that, because like some things like with the web talk
Hmm.
podcast that I want to start, I just wanted to call that the Yolanda Winfield show, but then everything else is branded where it's Yola Wins, with my the first four letters of my name, first and last
Hmm.
name. So it's like I have to get one thing and stick to that, and pinpoint on one, zone in on one thing. So I just have to, do that, or try to figure out how I can combine everything. So, and people don't think, oh, well, that's somebody different. So,
Right.
yeah.
I like the YOLO wins. It's creative, it's catchy.
Oh,
You can
thank you.
remember it, and that's a powerful thing to come up with. That's why I changed my name. As far as I used to be the insurance doctor, now I'm
Hmm.
the connection machine, aka the insurance doctor,
Yeah.
because I'm helping others. Like you said
Right.
early, helping others changes the game. If you can help
Hmm.
somebody grow their business, help them
Right.
have another connection, another relationship, they're going to help you. It's just going to,
Hmm.
it happens
Exactly.
if you have
Right.
that mindset. The
Right.
helpers definitely will gain in the long run, but we're not looking for anything. We're just looking to
Right.
improve somebody. If you have some pain point, something's going on, we're here to help. And that's a
Hmm.
powerful thing that
Right.
everyone
Exactly.
would love to see everyone say that. How can I help you? In a
Hmm.
phone call that you might get from a prospect, or a mortgage person calls you. If they called you, hey Yolanda, how can I help you grow your business? You're going to talk
Hmm.
to that person, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not going to be like, oh, I want to get your business right now. That's not how
Hmm.
it should be. It's a help first. You're grateful for those opportunities, and then you can pitch your product, your service down the road.
Right, right,
It's
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I had one person tell me that I shouldn't do it that way. You should always talk about your business and always promote yourself. But I just feel different. I feel like I just want to get that connection and build that relationship with you first. I mean, of course, you're going to know that I'm a realtor or an event planner, but that's not the first and foremost thing that I want to talk about. Nobody wants to be sold. You know,
hmm
they don't want to hear about your business all the time because I can post something about real estate and get 2 likes. But if I post something funny or like the post I did today about the mindset and
Yep.
mental health, I got so many likes and return phone calls or whatever. And it's just nobody wants to feel like, oh, she's coming down my throat. I had one person, I was at an event and I was walking over towards them and they said, oh, here she comes going to talk about real estate. And I was like, I wasn't going to talk about real estate. I was going to talk about buying a car. He was a salesperson. He
hmm
was a car salesman. And I was like, I was going to talk about buying a car. I wasn't going to say a thing about real estate. So he didn't get my business. I walked away from him, but
When people have judgments right off the bat, that's the problem. They're
right.
judging. If you're judging, it's going to put you into a bad position. Most
Hmm.
multimillionaires are never. They don't look like a flashy individual. They
Right.
are like a normal human being, but they have all the money in the world. So
Hmm.
it's perception as well. And don't
Yeah.
judge the book by its cover. They say
Right.
that when you're younger, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
this has been so
Exactly.
much fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to spend some time with us. Lots of value. If you're tuning in right now, wait till this uploads and watch the replay. Drop a couple comments, share this live. It's very simple, guys. On the bottom, it's a little share button there. Hit the share button, hit copy link, and put it on different social media platforms so we can help Yolanda grow her personal brand for real estate, for event planning. YOLO wins. And
Hmm.
any final thoughts you can share with us right now?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is again the mental health. So if anybody needs anything, don't hesitate to reach out. If it's not, to me or Shawn, just reach out to somebody and talk and just talk it out, and you'll be able to work things out.
Excellent.
Yep.
I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And we
Yes. Thank
hope that
you.
you all have an awesome rest of your day.
Yes.